Good morning and welcome to the Alabama Way. The job market seems to be on the upswing, but there may be some of you all who are still looking for your dream job or even looking to move up where you are. And joining us this morning is Miss Melva Tate of Tate and Associates. She's going to help us navigate through those career choices. Good morning, Melva.
Good morning, Comedienne Joy. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. Now, we look at the unemployment rate. It seems that things are picking up. I see help wanted signs all over the place. But some people are still having problems finding a job. What is going on? What are they doing wrong, Melvin?
Well, it's a number of things. So you're right. The unemployment rates are improving. Our national unemployment rate is down at 5.3. The state of Alabama's unemployment rate is down to 5.8. So a significant improvement from where we were years ago. So you're right. Companies are hiring. They've realized they've been lean for so long, and now they're looking to add additional human resource capital to their organization. So help wanted ads are everywhere. People are posting on social media that they're looking to expand. Open positions are there. So why can't your cousin, nephew, brother, sister find the right job?
Exactly.
And it may be that they're not doing the right things and marketing themselves. So although companies are hiring now, you still need to make sure you're marketing yourself to set yourself apart from the competition. Because at the end of the day, somebody is getting that job. And It's not you, because probably you're doing the wrong things.
So if they're not marketing themselves right, give us some tips, some examples for those who are watching to say, okay, this is what I need to start doing.
Right. So the first thing that you need to market yourself is a really good marketing package that consists of your resume, your cover letter, a list of references, and then a good social media profile. People forget that we're in the age of technology, and your web image or your social media image is just as important as how you present yourself in person and on paper. So having a good resume is a great start.
Now let me ask you this, because I know when I was looking for a job many moons ago, is it true that you have one cover letter and you just change the name and address? So you may change from ABC company to DEF, or are you saying for each company you apply, you need to have a tailor-made cover letter?
Yes. So 10 or 20 years ago, most of us did not have computers in our home. It was hard to customize our documents. But now everybody has some form of technology, whether that's a laptop, a desktop computer, a smartphone. So we as recruiters and hiring managers expect that the information you send to us is customized. So unfortunately, Joy, you can't use that same old cover letter that you sent to company A to send to company Z. It should be customized. You should use a name if you can find out the name of the hiring manager, but most of all, use the name of the company and also the position that you're applying for.
Okay, now for the resume, it may be someone like me with my precocious work history where you have worked a whole lot of different places. Or if you are looking to get to kind of transition, how should that resume be? Should you keep the same resume and hit send? Or do you change it up for the company you're applying for?
So again, your resume is a marketing tool, and it should market you in the best light. So different from an application where you've got to be honest and actually sign on the back that you were honest in everything that you put on the application. The resume gives you a little bit more freedom. So I would suggest to, based on your work history, you use one or two forms, either the chronological resume that will list where you worked and when and what position, or a functional resume that will really highlight your key skills in certain areas that you're trying to market to that organization. So yeah, so use it to your best benefit to market the best skills that you have to offer to that organization.
So even if you use a functional resume, would an employer or recruiter look at it and say, you've only been here for 6 months or you were only here for 2 years, why are you still a job hopper, even though you may have great skills when you were at these different places to add up, to a decent amount of time?
Right. So if those positions were in the same industry, take for instance retail. You worked at this organization for 6 months, then you had a shift change, and then you worked at another one for a year. I would recommend bundling those together. Again, on the application, you have to be very specific. But on the resume, you've got some freedom on how you package those jobs that you had. So it does not appear that you are a job hopper. Certainly when you have an opportunity to interview, you can explain those circumstances of why you may have moved so frequently and had a number of jobs. Some of it may have been beyond your control.
So what if someone wants to transition? Do they try to fix the resume and hope that they would get the interview to kind of sell themselves to say, you know, my customer service skills was just in retail, but I really want to do something else?
Right. So there are two things that you can do. One, you got to make sure that you have the right document to sell yourself, because unfortunately you don't get an opportunity to go in and explain those situations if your resume doesn't get you past that first step. We as hiring managers are looking to eliminate people out of the hiring process, not add more on. I use the analogy, we're trying to kick people off the island so that we can get down to that one lucky winner who wins the opportunity to get the job. So you want to make sure your resume is intact and certainly sets you apart, but you can also use your cover letter to explain some of those situations that you feel will best present for you in absence of you being able to explain that yourself. So use that cover letter as the tool to do that.
And in terms of resumes, is it okay that we email it? Do we need to mail it in hard copy? Do we fold it like a letter? Do we send it in the whole legal size? What's the proper way of getting it to the hiring manager?
Follow the instructions. So some organizations will say submit your resume electronically. Then that's what we want you to do. Some will say mail your resume and cover letter to this P.O. box. Well, that's what they want you to do. The hiring manager or recruiter already has a process in place, and it's essential that you deliver your documents in the form that they've requested. If there's not a request, they may say mail or email. They may give you an option to do that. Certainly you can have your choice. But if they say email, then don't show up at the company handing your nice ivory printed resume to them, because somebody's got to go back now and scan that document. And normally if it's someone like me, I push it to the side. That's the person that's kicked off the island immediately because they couldn't follow directions.
Gotcha. Now, I know years ago, sometimes they say, you want to make your resume stand out. Get some bright paper, put your picture on there, do something crazy, or maybe you want to have the fine grain paper. What's the rule on that?
Okay, so the rule is still intact. We love a traditional resume, so I don't encourage my clients to use bright paper, use a lot of graphs and photos on those documents simply because they can be scanned. Some companies, believe it or not, your resume oftentimes is read by an electronic tool versus an individual. So an electronic scanner is not going to be pleased with as many graphics, italics, bullets, pictures as someone who may look at it and think it's aesthetically nice. So you want to make sure you keep it simple. Now you can use different fonts, there's different styles that you can use to make it creative, make sure you stand apart, but you don't want to go extravagant with a lot of pictures and things of that nature that it's not necessary.
Okay. And then something else you hit on was social media.
Yes.
When we do have our social media, some of us think, well, it's mine. I could do what I want to do. I want to tell everybody I'm at, my cousin's cookout, or, maybe I'm doing something on the side. What should our social media look like if we're looking for a job?
Yeah, and so the key point you mentioned was if you're looking for a job. You're right. Your social media page is yours. You got freedom of speech to write or post or comment on anything that you choose to do. But think about it. If it's your job search, if you're in a job search and you know that there's a chance that a recruiter or a hiring manager will go on that site and look at you because they're looking to ensure that you're going to be a fit for their company. If you're using profanity, if you got pictures of you drunk and laying out somewhere or holding up a huge margarita 3 or 4 times a week, then they're going to assume that that's not the type of person they want. So modify your social media platforms to show you in the best light. So that means that you can't post the crazy pictures of you in a string bikini. Sorry.
Even though, hey, they said this is beach season. So would you say post your beach picture, or just not do it if you're looking for a job?
I think make sure it's tasteful. If you're posting something that you wouldn't mind being posted on a billboard next to your church, then by all means post it. If you're going to be a little bit hesitant about your pastor or priest or some members in your congregation seeing that information, don't post it.
Well, now if your pastor look good, I may have to post mine. I'm just kidding. Now, you hit on something that I think we do need to talk about, and that's being a fit for a company. We're going to take a short break, but when we come back, we want to talk about what does fit mean. Because on paper, they can say you need to be, 5'7" or able to lift 150 pounds, but that fit, that's something totally different.
Exactly.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.